Welcome to the Therapy Show podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard. In each episode, I interview a seasoned and knowledgeable talk therapist from the counseling world to glean valuable insights, techniques, and tools that you can apply to your practice and your life. And if you're considering a career in the counseling field or just want to hear about what it's like to be a talk therapist, then this is the podcast for you. Well, hi there, friend. It is great to be back in your earbuds. This Saturday, I received some really great feedback on the episode I released a couple weeks back that was titled The Impact of Social Media on Mental Health. And I wanted to revisit this topic with some tips and ideas on what to do with your life instead of scrolling feeds. And I know that social media is here to stay, whether we like it or not. And, truth be told, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. On one hand, it allows me to promote the podcast for free versus paying for ads on podcast platforms, which I'm not opposed to doing, but if you can get something for free first, I'm always about doing that, right? It also allows me to grow my brand. It allows me to connect with other folks in my field doing similar work. And I get to connect with friends and family too on social media. Social media also is great at exposing me to new ideas. And I find new podcasts to listen to, new books to read, new videos to watch on personal development and personal growth. Right now, I know I've shared with you guys my favorite is AfterSkool. In fact, I just watched a really cool video yesterday or the day before on Carl Jung, and it's just really great stuff. I'll put the link in the show notes if you want to check out AfterSkool. But here is where social media starts to get under my skin. It is all about who I follow. And up until a couple months ago, I was following certain politicians, leaders on social media, and I found, and news people too, or I should say media outlets, mainstream media. And I found that reading their posts and then looking at the comments of those posts just made me more anxious, made me super anxious. So I unfollowed a bunch of these accounts a few months ago, and I can already tell my anxiety has been decreased. It has lifted. Also, social media gets under my skin because it is truly a time and energy suck. I can easily waste my precious time and brain power on social media. For example, I can watch endless animal videos or comedy bits on pretty much on Instagram. I don't have TikTok. And the next thing I know, an hour has passed and I'm kicking myself for losing that hour that I could have been doing something else with my time, like reading or working on a hobby or even hanging out with my kids. And I don't want to live on social media. I don't want to create all the time and chase the algorithm. I don't want to be posting all the time to chase the algorithm. It gets so tiring. And I don't know how much for me, it even works. I don't know how much the algorithm favors me, and I don't want to spend the brain power on trying to figure it out. And honestly, you guys, I don't want to make those reels where people are lip syncing to music and then pointing at words on the reel. And let me just say, I have plenty of friends, podcasting friends who do those reels, and they are really good and they are fun and I enjoy watching them. I love them. However, I just personally don't want to spend my time and energy coming up with that type of content, scrolling the feed, looking for like the perfect thing to lip sync to or staying on. I just don't have that. I just don't want to do it. I hate, not even that I hate coming out and saying it. It's almost like this, I'm confessing to you guys how much I dislike it. And I don't want to spend my time and energy doing it. So just even trying to figure those things out makes my heart rate and blood pressure go up. In fact, I would personally prefer to do Instagram or Facebook lives that I can do longer form content and I can just do it. I just get on my phone, I hit go live and I can just talk. However, social media platforms are favoring short form video these days. So I have taken a step back from even doing those Instagram lives and Facebook lives.
Are you thinking of starting a podcast this year? Or perhaps you're a seasoned podcaster and you're looking for someone to take the podcast production off your plate. If so, we are currently taking on new clients and would love to be your production partner of choice. My name is Chelsea Weaver and I am the owner of Chelsea Weaver Podcasting. I offer podcast startup packages, audio and video editing, plus show notes, graphics, and reels. So consider us a one-stop shop for all your podcast needs. A little bit about me, I have over 5+ years of experience in audio and video production. I am an Army veteran who served in Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom. I partner with other female veterans who are also experienced in podcast production and social media services. We'd love to chat with you about your podcasting and social media needs and can be reached at chelseaweaverpodcasting.com. That's CHELSEAWEAVER podcasting.com.
So can you relate to any of this? I mean, maybe I'm the only one out there. I don't know. I would love to know if you can relate to any of this stuff. Feel free to message me on Instagram or send me an email, lisa@lisamustard.com, and let me know if you can relate to these feelings. I would love to know. And I want to know what you're doing to combat these feelings, but I also want to give you some tips on what I'm doing to combat this. So first and foremost, I would encourage you to set a timer for how long you're going to be spending on social media and stick to that timer. And you can even put an app on your phone if you have to. My husband and I have a deal right now where we're supposed to remind each other to stop spending so much time watching funny animal videos on Instagram. We have to remind each other, because what I find is they want you to stay on these apps. So they reward me with another dog video or reward me for staying on with another cat video. And I could easily lose an hour of my life just looking at funny cat videos and dog videos, which I have a dog, and it's taking me away from actually spending time with my dog and hanging out with her or taking her for a walk. So put an app on your phone or put a timer on your phone. So once you take these social media, you can even take these social media apps off your phone. I'll just tell you, I took Facebook off my phone and I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I only check Facebook on my computer. And speaking of computers, I spend so much time on the computer for my work and for podcasting that the last thing I want to do is get back on the computer in the evening. So I find that I'm spending less and less time on social media just by, setting these boundaries for myself. So what can you do instead of being on social media? Remember when we used to actually be alone with our thoughts? Remember when we were alone with ourselves? Do that. Just sit there with yourself and think things. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can also call a friend, call a family member, connect with either yourself or somebody else. So I want to encourage you to cultivate relationships instead of curating your feed. So what else can you do? Revisit a hobby or even find a new hobby. Read a book, do a puzzle, draw, paint, play an instrument, sing, dance, write, cook a meal, go outside, ride your bike, take a walk, garden, even start a freaking podcast. The sky's the limit on hobbies and creativity. So spend your energy on something creative. Your brain, you guys will thank you. I know my brain thanks me for not spending so much time on social media. I know that my creativity goes down when I spend too much time on social media. I think really this episode, the main takeaway for me and for you, I hope, is that go out and live a life and don't watch others live their lives on social media. I want to know what you guys think. Send me a message on Instagram, send me an email. Let me know how you deal with social media, what you do to stay off of it. And if you are using social media to promote your brand or your business or your podcast, I totally understand doing that. And I think we just have to be mindful of setting boundaries and how often we're going to show up. And it's okay if I don't have 10,000 followers. It's fine. I don't want to live my life on social media. I don't want to live my life for getting that next post or getting that new follower. I want to provide value. I want to provide support. I want to provide help. So honestly, I think if you are wanting to get into doing that two of the best ways that you can do it are start a podcast or start a YouTube channel. I know I just dropped those two major things on you. You need one more thing to do, but if you want to get out there and grow something, you got to have an audience. And the two best ways that I've learned over the past couple of years are podcasting and starting a YouTube channel. So I will, if you want me to talk about those things, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. Like I said, send me an email, send me an Instagram message. If those are things you want me to dive into for you guys on these Saturday episodes, I can totally do that. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great week. And be sure to check out my other Put It Into Practice episodes. I'm going to put some in the show notes that I think that you might find helpful and useful. So go ahead and check those show notes out. Hey guys, before we end this episode, if you are liking my content, if you're liking my podcast, be sure to go over and leave me a 5-star review on the podcast platform of your choice. And if you are up for it, I'd love it if you left me a review as well. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine.
Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover more fantastic content.
And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.